For more perspective on the way forward for Sierra Leone, I'm joined in studio by Matilda Kamara. She's an analyst and chief elections judge, County of Montgomery in the U.S. state of Maryland. She is also a native of Sierra Leone. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Now, first, what were you surprised by how the results turned out to be?
I was surprised, but I wasn't shocked.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things that happened before elections, and so the result for me is, I want to say it is what it is.
Yeah.
The expectations of people were that they needed a change.
Yes.
People need a change after 10 years. Otherwise, they're going to think it's going to be a dictatorship. So even though the APC pulled off a lot of votes, but the majority of Sierra Leoneans were like, you know what, we do need a change.
Yes.
And there are other, like I said, underlying factors like corruption, security issues, because, for instance, the police had become a kind of a political apparatus, and people did not feel secure. Yeah. So again, I want to say I wasn't shocked.
Yeah.
But
I found it very, very interesting that the candidate for the ruling party would cry foul. It is typical across African countries that it's actually the ruling party that manages in some way to manipulate or have some kind of clout over the Electoral Commission, and it will be the one to be accused of kind of messing up. How possible?
I would think so too. I would think so too. And that's where I was surprised, because if a ruling party allows itself, because like you said, in Africa, most times the ruling party manipulates somehow to get an edge over this. But because there were dissensions also in the ruling party, there were a lot of factions already, even among the membership. So, and I think there was a kind of overconfidence in them because of the infrastructural development that they had and all of that. So they did not, I would say, in my own view, that they did not do their homework properly. And so they gave the opposition party every reason to have the results that we have today.
Now, Mr. President Bio is telling Kamara to drop the whole idea of petitioning this and kind of, in a way, suggesting they could work together. What is the best way you think they could work together but still retain some element of opposition to keep the government in check?
I think they should, and that would be very good for Sierra Leone, because one of the challenges that President Bio is going to face is that of harnessing the people together. There's a lot of breakdown, tribalism and other kinds of things that have happened. So, and people are saying, we are thinking or assuming that Bio is going to be vindictive. So in order for him to redeem that kind of perception, he has to bring Kamara, whoever, on board, so that we all work together for the good
But again,
of Sierra Leone.
The people who voted for Bio voted for him because they don't want the ruling party in power. Now, do you really want to bring them back into the mainstream? Where is the opposition then? Who holds the government accountable?
Parliament.
Okay.
So we have members of parliament.
Where actually the former ruling party has the majority.
The former ruling party has the majority. Yeah. But again, maybe it's time for us to put Sierra Leone first and look at it that way, that for the first time, a president an opposition wins elections and then brings the other people on board. Matter of fact, I was saying this morning, I think it would be good for Bio and Ernest Koroma. So Ernest Koroma serves as a kind of a consultant, somebody to Bio. Because Africa needs to come, Sierra Leone in particular needs to come to that point where we're not chasing the old presidents, the other people away, but we can also use their minds, use their brains and their experiences.
So what is the immediate thing that you think the two sides could do to just make sure that the country moves forward in a much better way? How
to bring the people together. It's so divided right now on tribal grounds, and it's not good for all of us, because, you know, Africa, we are married to one to another. So I think it's how to harness themselves together and to bring the people. That is like that number one. And then also make sure that security is for all and not for some.
Exactly. Good place to begin, and we look forward to hopefully greater things coming out of Sierra Leone. I want to thank you very much, Matilda, for joining us today.
Thank you.
That's Matilda Kamara, who is an analyst and chief elections judge, County of Montgomery in the U.S. state of Maryland. And she's also a native of Sierra Leone.